Hey, and welcome back to the Single Mother's Life. And in this video, we gonna talk about the art of letting go. So stay tuned. If you're new here, welcome, and if you have been rocking with me for a while, thank you so much. My name is Latasha, certified life coach, author, speaker, and I am on a mission to help single women find passion and confidence to transition into their higher selves while on the single mother's journey. I hope your Sunday is going well. I hope you are having a joyful, glorious, and relaxful Sunday. I do know that a lot of you may be working. A lot of you may be getting your Sunday dinner ready. Majority of you may be preparing for next week because, hey, that's what we do. It's Sunday. We prepare for the next week. All right, but I wanted to do this video because I just uploaded the new course in the Single Mother's Life Mastermind. And it's titled The Anatomy of Resentments, How to Set Yourself Free. I wanted to dive into that particular topic in a mastermind because I do know that a lot of women, a lot of single moms, they are struggling with resentment. You know, you may be struggling with the resentment towards your kid's father. You may be struggling with the resentment towards an old friend, maybe towards a parent, a mother or a father who was not the parent that you needed them to be, and you cannot let go of that resentment. And as I was studying for the information that I put it in the mastermind, and as I was reflecting on my life experiences and on what I see within other women, I realized that the root of resentment is not letting go. And in Ecclesiastes 3:6, it says that there is a time to seek, there is a time to lose, there is a time to keep, and there is a time to cast away. We have a hard time letting go of what that person did to us. We have a hard time letting go of what that person did not do for us. We have a hard time letting go, and before we knew it, it breeds resentment. So in this video, I want to talk about 5 ways that you can begin to let go of the resentment and the unforgiveness that you're holding on to. Because letting go is not easy. For a long time, like when I got old enough to realize what my mom and my dad did, I resented them. I just wanted to know why. Like, why did they have 9 kids? Well, 11, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why did they have 12 kids? We don't know 3 of them. 9 of us are together. And they just abandoned us. Now, it would have been different if they would have maybe had me, my sister, 2 of us or something, then realize like, hey, we cannot take care of you. We're going to, give you to someone who can take care of you. But they just kept having kids. Some of us, they left at the hospital and just disappeared. I could not understand it. And for a long time, I resented them. Like, I resented them. For a while, I would want to know who they were, what they were. But then I'm like, I don't want to know them. I hate them. I can't stand them. Until God helped me to process those feelings, and He helped me, to realize that I turn all things around for your good because you are called according to my purpose. So God turned that pain into purpose, which I put into my book, Testaments of a Broken Single Mother. And he turned it into purpose, and He helped me to process those feelings and to overcome those feelings. But for a long time, resentment was making me fearful. It was making me fearful that I would subconsciously do the same thing to my son. Or it was making me, not trust anyone. because I always expected people to abandon and reject me. It made me feel unworthy, so I had to prove myself worthy to man after man, letting them to make myself feel like I was wanted and I was loved. And it caused me to seek love in all the wrong places, because I had a point to prove to me and I had a point to prove to the world. So resentment is detrimental, not only to our emotional and mental health, but also to our physical health, because it will lead us to do things that we should not be doing. We're going to talk about how to break the root of holding on, and we're going to talk about how to let go. And sometimes it can be hard. It can be hard to admit to ourselves that someone or something we care so deeply about will never be in our life again. But, one thing that I learned is that letting go is absolutely necessary when it comes to prioritizing our mental, emotional, and physical health. So let's give yourself a chance to heal and learn how to let go. Let go, of your kid's father. Let go of that friendship that you thought would last forever. Let go of the bad things people said and did to you, and let's heal. So the first thing we can do when we're wanting to let go is give yourself a chance to feel. I know that, it's so hardcore in this world. Society will encourage us that we don't have emotions and that we don't have feelings and we're bad, and we're bossed up. But we're still human and we're going to have emotions. God gave us emotions. God gave us feelings. We just have to learn how to process them effectively and not to allow them to control us. So when we let go, it is never pleasant. Like, we have to go through the pain of letting go. We likely will feel the sadness, the anger, the disappointment, and sometimes it's easier to pretend that it never did happen in the first place. But when we avoid the feelings and we pretend that we're okay and like the emotions doesn't exist, it may just creep up sometimes down the road, like when we least expect it, and then kind of remind us of the pain associated with what we went through. The bad relationship, the bad friendship, whatever the case may be. So sometimes you just have to allow yourself to cry, to yell, to scream, to smile, to laugh. Allow yourself to feel it and get through it and let it go. Okay, girl? The second thing we can do if we want to let go of a person or a thing is we can increase our distance. When I was obsessed with a guy, I told y'all this plenty of times, I was so obsessed with him, just knowing that he was my husband. I wasn't able to let go of the feeling and my obsession until I increased my distance. Like, I had to stop going around him. I had to stop allowing him to come around me. I had to stop checking his social media. I had to stop calling him and texting him. And then over time, I noticed that I no longer had those feelings. I no longer had the desire to see him, to talk to him, to think about him, because I increased my distance. And it was hard, because a person that you have history with, something that you have history with, it's a part of your past, and you're frequently reminded by them, in life every day. And then every time you see an image of them, or you hear about them, every time you check their social media or something, or you go down the street, both of y'all used to go down, listen to a song, your memories are going to come back. So sometimes the best way to let go is by putting some distance between you and whatever it is that you're wanting to let go of. You have to unfollow them on social media. You have to avoid going to the places that y'all used to go to. You have to avoid listening to the songs that you used to listen to. And then you also have to block their number. Because you trying to heal, you have to heal. And in order to heal, you have to increase your distance from that person intentionally. Now let's talk about number 3. So the third thing we can do when we're wanting to let go is we can work on improving ourselves. This is a big one because it's like it's magic when you work on improving yourself. That's why I created the Single Mothers Life VIP Mastermind, because it gives us as single moms something to work on towards improving ourselves. Our mind, it helps us to master our mind. So instead of letting that breakup or whatever you think you lost take over your entire life, then you can use the process of letting go to improve yourself as a woman, to improve yourself as a mom. We can think about the things that we need to work on that would make us a better person. Like for me, I know, as far as my purpose goes, it's coming on camera and talking. So I know that I need to work on my words. Like I need to work on speaking a little bit more proper, because being from Alabama, I got a little slang going on, So I had to work on speaking a little bit more proper. Sometimes it works, and sometimes y'all still get this country slang. But I'm working on that. I'm working on, learning about the mind, learning about the behavior of people, so that I can come on and maybe, teach someone who's trying to get from one place to another place. And by me focusing on building my skills and building my calling and walking in my purpose, it takes my focus off what I think I lost. It takes my focus off that and put my focus on an area that's more productive, which is improving myself as a woman, an entrepreneur, a mom, and everything else. So for you, maybe it's something as simple as regaining control of your health, by going to the gym or by starting a new diet. Or perhaps you want to go through therapy to sort out your emotions. Never let society make you think that therapy is for crazy people, because sometimes we need therapy. God says that we need to use wisdom. So if you are a believer, you have prayed about the situation and God is leading you towards finding a Christian counselor, then go for it. Go for it. Use wisdom. That leads me to my next point, which is to talk about your emotions. You don't necessarily have to sign up for a counseling session every time a relationship ends, but it's important that you take the time to express what you're feeling. When you express what you're feeling, it will help you to stop internalizing your pain and sadness, and then to lean on somebody else for support. The Bible also says to use wise counsel, and it also says that our plans fail because we don't have counsel. So sometimes a good friend or a family member or even a stranger can provide you with a listening ear and give you the chance to verbalize exactly what you've been feeling. The worst thing you can do is stay silent. If you find that you don't have anyone that you can talk to about what you're feeling inside, then journal. They say ink is the best therapy. The last and final way that you can begin a process of letting go to prevent resentment is stick to a routine. As we already stated, when we're trying to let go of something or someone, it can be hard for our mental health, especially when a person was so heavily involved in our lives. In our children's lives, it can be especially hard. So you may get to a point to where you feel like you don't even have the motivation to do anything. But when you stick to a routine, this is the best way to stay on track as you work through your emotions. So be sure to take a shower every morning, or do something that you enjoy doing once a day. Treat yourself to something you love and nourish your body with good food. This has worked for me numerous of times when I was stuck in one of my little soul ties that I used to be in. I would just have to start a routine and start doing something that I love every day. And eventually, I'm no longer thinking of that thing anymore. Now, as I close, ladies, the process of letting go of someone or something important, it don't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes you making a choice and a decision that you are going to let go, and that you are not going to allow bitterness and resentment to creep into your life. Because whether you're a believer or not, or, you know, especially for my believers, if you know that God says that if you pray and you have not forgiven someone, then your prayers will not be answered. So sometimes a lot of our prayers aren't answered because we are still holding on to resentment and unforgiveness towards someone, usually being a person. Usually being our kids' fathers. We're holding on to the bitter and resentment because of something that he did or something that he did not do. And we pray and our prayers are not being answered because we have that unforgiveness in our hearts. God tells us to forgive as he has forgiven us. So if you are a believer, I just want to bring that scripture back to your remembrance and let you know that you have to forgive just as God forgave us. If you don't want your prayers to be hindered, you have to let it go. Not only that is, you know, when you don't let go and that root grows into the fruit of resentment, it's going to not only hurt you mentally, but it's going to hurt you physically, because it's going to cause a lot of emotions that's going to cause stress on you. That can bring on depression. It can bring on all other kinds of sicknesses, but this is the fruit of you holding on to that resentment. So sometimes you have to do a heart check and be like, is there anyone in my life who I have not forgiven? Is there anyone in my life who I am holding resentment towards? Is there anyone in my life, you know, that I have not let go? Because you're not letting go because of them. You're letting go for your sake, you know, for your sanity, so you can receive all of the blessings that God has for you. Because as single moms, we don't need to be missing out on no blessings that God has for us because we refuse to let go of a person and forgive that person and just hand them over to God. You know, okay, I've had to do it plenty of times, and I'm sure it won't be the last time that I have to do it. So just know that it takes time. It's a work. You have to go through the pain of letting go. You have to go through the emotions and the feelings. But through it all, you know, God is right there with you, carrying you through it. And, you know, the most important thing you can do is look towards the future instead of reminiscing upon the past. So that's all I have for you, ladies. This message just came to me. I wanted to do it on the YouTube channel because, as stated, I did put it in the Single Mothers Mastermind. If the Single Mothers VIP Mastermind is something that you would like to join, it's only $19 a month. You can check the link in the comment. I add mastermind courses every month that will help us as single mothers master our mind. This one was very important to me. Overcoming, you know, resentments, getting past the resentments, because I did see a post on Facebook and she was saying how she's a single mom and her child's father, he broke up with her. He did all kind of bad dirt to her when she was pregnant. On her birthday, he was with another woman. All kind of just nasty, evil things he did to her. And she said, you know, that she has no desire to get out of her bed. You know, she's not motivated to do anything. She's not even motivated to take care of her child. You wouldn't believe how many women go through this type of pain. And I just want to encourage you that if you're in that spot right now, I want to encourage you and to empower you and let you know that you have to get up. Like, you have to get up. You should never allow another person, another man who does not care about you, even if y'all did make a baby, you know, allow that baby to be the blessing. Allow God to turn that into good. You do your best to raise that child with God's help, and you do your best to be the best woman that you can, but never give someone that much power over you. Okay? So that's all I have for you, ladies. I love you, and if you have not subscribed, why not? I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video.